Happy Batman Day!
Okay, so we're going to draw Batman. We're going to start with his head. I'm going to do a close-up on the mask. So again, I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to do a 3/4 view because I like 3/4 views. I think they look better than straight on. And I think it'll be more descriptive of how Batman's mask is constructed over his face. Anyhow, we've got that ball. Now I'm going to go ahead and put like a kind of a plate for his face over there. I'm going to find the middle of where I would like the middle of his face to lie by drawing a line. Again, a 3/4, so we've got about, 3 times the width, approximately 3 times the width on this side as we do on this side. And I'm going to find the middle of there for where the eyes will go. I'm going to go ahead and put his neck and his shoulders on. I'm going to come from the jawline down in a V shape. I'll go ahead and find where his Adam's apple will be. I'm going to take the muscles that fit into the back of the skull and form the line of his shoulders. Bring that down. Now, let's have some fun. Okay, Batman's really fun to draw, and I was thinking to myself before I did this video, I think Batman is the character that I've drawn the most in my life. I don't know exactly why. I love Batman. That might have something to do with it. So I'm going to be kind of rough and brief here. And Batman, we get to accentuate his brow. So I'm going to come down there, and I just like kind of making big spots where his eyes in. I'm going to go ahead and when you do the nose, start between the eyes and then come out a little left of that line because it protrudes from his face. A real nose would too, but especially Batman's because he's got that beak. Have it come out and you can get that pyramid shape going for the nose, and that tells you again where that ends, where the mask starts to form across his cheekbones. And we can go down across the cheekbones there, and I'm keeping these lines parallel. If you want to map out the face, you can see how they recede like this. It goes straight across in the middle, and then you can see the roundness of the head. Anyhow, you can bring the mask out on one of those parallel lines, wrap it down underneath that jaw. I much prefer the thick-necked, present-looking Batman in the movie compared to the Christian Bale Batman. I don't like how skinny the neck looked on that cowl. Anyhow, the mouth is going to be pretty close to the nose. Get that nice big jaw in there. Okay. Put a little shadow under there. Batman doesn't have much lips. I think maybe Michael Keaton was the lippiest Batman. I'm gonna give him a little bit of a butt chin like Ben, but maybe not too much. I'm gonna put in the eyes now. Diamond shapes for the eyes. I'm gonna find the corner of the eyes, and I really like having the white eyes for my Batman, so I think I'm gonna leave them white, like the comic books. So this eye, of course, is going to be foreshortened because it's on the outside of the mask. I can go ahead and bring that in a bit on the side to get the shape of that right. Find where the brow arcs. It's pretty much going to be right above that diamond in the eye. You can continue the mask over here. Make sure that his forehead's the right side. You can get that ball shape in there. That might help with some of the cross-hatching or shading. Okay. Now we can put on the ears. So the ears are going to come straight up from the temples. And it's a triangle shape, but from the side. So from the front, they would look skinnier. We've got a again, a 3/4 view. If it helps you, you can find the middle of that shape, and then you can see kind of how much or how big the ear should be. Okay, you kind of have to imagine from the other side. If it helps you, you can kind of go across. Okay, and you're gonna have to try to imagine, well, the ear lines up with the side of his face and see how far away that is from his eye. So you can try to imagine that on the opposite side would, it would curve around to the back and come pretty close right to the side of his mask. Again, I'm going to do the middle of it just to kind of get an exact looking match. And if it helps you, draw a line across and you can line up those ears better. I'm going to go in and darken some of the lines that I've made decisions of keeping. And then, it's fun to give Batman a bit of a furl in his brow. And you can make it look kind of, I do think it's kind of funny, but then again, appropriate that they always put that in the movie mask. In the comic books, I just imagine that the mask was so close to his face that it portrayed his facial expression through the mask. Never be precious with the line. Always be willing to do it over. Do it until the paper rips if you have to, and then start over on another piece of paper. You'll know when it's right. Ask yourself, does this look right? Could it be better? His mouth can be moved up, and I want to find the middle of his face again. Okay, and then I can find where that middle lip is going to be. And since there's 3 times more length on one side than the other, so I know how short this is going to be. And again, you can line it up with the other facial points. A good point would be the inside of his eye. And if you need to look in a mirror when you do this, look in a mirror. If you need to look at a photograph of something, look at a photograph. But and a good thing to do is to ask yourself what you want it to look like. Imagine it in your mind before you start drawing, and then when you make a right line, it'll feel right because it'll match up with the picture in your head. So I can have these 2 cords coming down for his neck. I noticed in a Conan story today that they described Conan's neck as corded. And I thought that was cool because it's a good way to describe a muscular looking neck. Okay, I'll go ahead and put in a sternum. A little dip right at the center where the V meets. Okay, and I'll put in some big shoulders. I like how Batman looks big and bulky in the new movie. I think he looks great. And he reminds me of the comic books, although I was going to mention, for me, Batman would always be like a navy blue. I was kind of hoping that this Batman would be, before they showed us the picture, that they would retain the blue. Because if you think about it, blue is like kind of blacker than black sometimes. How can you get blacker than black? Well, it's blue. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking. Maybe I just want my comic books and movies to look more similar. Okay, and then, we'll put a little bit of the cape. So I like to imagine it meeting right here, so like the cowl and the cape are part of the same piece of material. Okay, just kind of fun to draw some folds, Go ahead and draw his pecs. it's fun to draw big. And I would always suggest fill up the page. You know, like draw as big as you can. And a lot of times when you draw comic books, you have to draw so many things that are small. So if you have the opportunity to draw something big, and you know you've got more, and when you draw something big, you've got more opportunities to correct yourself and to push the piece forward. So, and I have to tell myself I have a tendency to draw smaller than I need to sometimes. Um, this could have probably been bigger. Okay, so here is Batman. I'm going to go through here and do some hatch work, and it's always good to step away from your drawing and then come back, because you're gonna notice something when you come back, and that's what I'm gonna do now. I'd say he's in a pretty good starting point, and we're gonna do part 2 pretty soon. We're gonna do Batman in one of my favorite poses, the whole body, the whole shebang. Please check out the links on my video. Give us a like, give us a follow. That would really be appreciated. And here's a viewer question if you stuck around. Who do you think Batman's girlfriend should be? I had a discussion with a friend today who thought him and Catwoman were the best together, and I like the notion of him and Wonder Woman being together as it was suggested in the animated cartoon. Anyways, have a great week and stay tuned for part 2.